It's off color, off base, and all online. Good evening, everyone. I'm Allison Bruner.
And I'm John Rogers. Two websites, one founded locally. They're testing the high cost of free speech. It's a story you'll see only on 3. Dozens, if not hundreds, of female students at JMU are being attacked online.
It's happening through 2 websites well known to the university students and some of their staff.
And some of the people providing the platform for the attacks say they met and founded their operation while attending JMU.
But we do want to warn you, some of the language in this story is disturbing. WHSC's news director Karen K. Norrid has part 1 of her part 2
I just think
series.
this website in general is awful and it shouldn't be there, and JMU is a great school.
Olivia Long is like a lot of students at James Madison. She works hard, keeps her grades up, and tries to be a leader and mentor to other girls through her sorority, Alpha Sigma Alpha.
I hadn't heard of it, none of my friends had heard of it, and it didn't seem like it was as popular because not many people were writing on there.
But Olivia has something else in common with a growing number of JMU co-eds. She has been targeted by a gossip website.
I can see things happening, I guess, that would be negative just from this. I don't necessarily think it's harmless. I think it kind of can ruin someone's reputation.
This is where I was first introduced to Olivia. It's a website called collegiateacb.com, and on it there are entire web pages dedicated to several universities, including the students at JMU.
I know a lot of these women and they're all very nice, and there's my name.
Not that objectionable, right? But scroll up to some of the other topics: biggest slut, biggest boobs at JMU, and one topic focused on a single student is so sexually offensive, we won't repeat it on air. The names of real students are posted on these pages by anonymous users who make what can be damaging and dangerous accusations. We spoke with a student who was listed under one of the more offensive topics. We'll call her Jane to protect her privacy. She messaged us these comments. I first heard I was on the site when the guy I was dating got really mad because his friend showed it to him. I had not even had sex or anything, so it was very far from the truth. We tried to contact collegiateacb.com, but they did not return our message. And it doesn't stop there. Jane has a friend who was also a victim of a different website, schooldirt.com. Its founders claim to have started the site while studying at JMU.
You can't have an open forum of discussion that's unfiltered and unbiased unless you provide this system for anonymity.
That's the voice of a man who identifies himself as Emmanuel. He'd only agree to speak with us if he was disguised, but he did tell us he's a senior at JMU. He says he helped start the website 2 years ago and now serves as its chief engineer.
We allow all posts to go through directly without any moderation. It is still content that is valuable and should be out in public.
So let's look at some examples. This post names a female student and her sorority. It reads, quote, gave my pledge brother genital warts, end quote. If you search the young woman's name and JMU on Yahoo, it is one of the top results. How about this one posted almost a month ago, simply titled with the student's name? Replies to the post read, I'd stick it in her butt, slut, and hottest, but a complete psychopath. And again, a quick Yahoo search of her name and JMU, and this is one of the top results. That's because Emmanuel says an average of 4,000 people visit the website every day, looking at 15 pages and spending an average of 7 minutes on the site.
How would they like it if they were all over that website and people were bashing them? Like, they wouldn't like that. It would get their feelings hurt. So they have to put themselves in someone else's shoes.
And for those of you thinking this website is just a problem for JMU, think again.
Currently, our main target area is JMU, but we do have plans for expansion in the near future to other schools in Virginia and eventually around the nation.
Emmanuel, the chief engineer of the site, did say if a subject of a post sends them a complaint, it will be reviewed and decided if the post should be removed. Removal of a post usually takes about 3 weeks.
And Kate, do we know any idea how big this operation is? Maybe how many people work for School Dirt?
You know, it's really interesting because they actually have no employees. It's actually not for profit, so there's no payroll and no employees on staff, but they actually have 15 volunteers located around the world, and they actually help to run the site. The founder, who graduated from JMU last year, is currently based on the West Coast. Emmanuel says he is one of 5 students currently enrolled at JMU working on this website. Now, tomorrow in part 2 of our story, we'll talk to a legal expert on how the law actually protects these websites and what JMU faculty think about it.
It's a follow-up to a story we first brought you last night at 6 and a story you'll only see on 3. The high cost of free speech. Gossip websites and anonymous posters are attacking young co-eds.
According to the chief engineer of SchoolDirt.com, its website was founded right here in the Valley by students attending James Madison.
In part 2 of our report tonight, WHSC's news director Kay Norrid looks at what the law states and what JMU says is its responsibilities. Again, we warn you, some of this language is disturbing.
Currently, our main target area is JMU, but we do have plans for expansion in the near future to other schools in Virginia and eventually around the nation.
It's an unsettling thought, a website designed and operated by JMU students that offers a platform for students to slander each other anonymously. A JMU student named on a similar site said the thought of it spreading across Virginia and then the nation is concerning.
I don't think it's a good reflection on our school at all. I think that it's just people who are bored, as I said before, who just want to have something to do and think it's a good idea to be able to spread gossip on a site like this.
Posts about students spreading STDs across campus, girls called names like slut and psychopath, and it's all completely legal, according to First Amendment expert Roger Sangskin.
Websites wouldn't hold liability simply because there's too vast array of web pages posted every day they could possibly monitor. And secondly, if they did, they'd monitor for content, and that would be a prior restraint, which the court says is a violation of the individual's First Amendment rights to post.
Dr. Sangskin is also a JMU professor. He says there's just too much out there to keep track of each and every post. And if those websites were to censor, it would violate the poster's First Amendment rights. So what if a crime was committed against one of the people listed on the website?
Under the law, the website would not have any liability because they're not encouraging individuals to go out and commit a particular action.
So we went to a JMU spokesman to find out if they knew about the website and its content.
Well, the university administration is just now learning of these websites. We certainly don't condone any of the activity on there or even the existence of the websites.
SchoolDirt.com is nothing new. According to its creators, it started about 2 years ago. When we spoke to Dr. Sangskin about the website, he said he had heard about it through chatter at JMU. When we asked him who was doing all that chattering, he said it was mainly faculty.
I think if a faculty sees it, it should be brought up. I don't think that they should ignore it. I don't think it's necessarily their responsibility, but I also think just as a human being, they should go and complain about this website.
JMU administrators say they are doing all they can and say they will investigate if a student files a complaint.
They're the ones who are providing the forum for these students to be victimized. The university is here as a resource for the students. We're constantly preaching to our students about how to stay safe in various situations, and we have resources available to them should they need them.
So if the website is not responsible and the posts are anonymous, can anyone be held accountable?
The supposition that you're posting something anonymously is simply wrong. You leave a paper trail, so to speak, in the digital age, a binary code, so we can track you down.
Online bullying has become a hot-button issue across the country, with current litigation and criminal charges reshaping how the courts view character attacks in the digital age.
The key would be, have I been harmed? And I would have to go in and demonstrate that people have shunned me, that there have been job opportunities lost, or simply that questioning goes so far and beyond the call of normal communication that the jury should assume that damage has been done.
Now, JMU does want students to know help is out there. The school offers health and counseling services. There are also clubs like the Red Flag campaign that deals with dating violence. You can also talk to JMU's Judicial Affairs because it's important to note that the law is constantly changing. But as more of these cases gain national attention and litigation becomes more frequent, the courts could take another look at who is to blame.
So what can a student do if his or her name is on that website?
The quick and simple answer is get an attorney. A lawyer can actually petition the judge to release the petition or the poster's identity to be released. And then also, because of this area is relatively new in the courts, a jury could assess punitive damages in a civil court, and that could be worth millions of dollars.
In a story you'll see only on 3, we continue to look at the high cost of free speech. A number of websites, and it's a growing number, are offering a free forum for students to make hurtful accusations about fellow co-eds. This weekend, the founder of one of those websites contacted us wanting to talk. We asked for a picture, and here's what he sent to us. This is 22-year-old law student Tim O'Shea, the founder of CollegiateACB.com. He describes himself as not your average entrepreneur. Now, Collegiate ACB covers dozens of colleges nationwide. O'Shea says the website is run out of a basement by 2 guys and a few interns. Topics posted include best sex spot on campus, and here's one that may be offensive to some people, biggest boobs at JMU. Now, those are some of actually the less offensive ones. Many people have criticized WHSV for bringing attention to these sites. O'Shea says he has his own plans for spreading the word in Virginia.
We're getting ready to unleash a big brand new marketing strategy in the spring with campus reps at every single school that are designed to get the word out. JMU is a big school, University of Virginia, Virginia Tech. Those are a couple of our, top, especially University of Virginia. They're top 20 schools. They're very impressive.
Tomorrow night at 6, we'll hear more from O'Shea and talk to a state lawmaker to find out if the government needs to step in.
And in a story you'll only see on 3 tonight, we continue tracking the high cost of free speech. Anonymous posters are using websites to spread hurtful rumors about Virginia students. Right now, the law is on the side of these websites.
Well, the unknown posters who spread slander online could face real trouble if they're tracked down. Tonight, we look at what responsibility the websites and schools take in protecting students and how lawmakers might have to step in.
We don't feel the need at this point to provide another forum for these websites to proliferate.
That was James Madison University's answer last week when we asked if students would be alerted by the school to the existence of 2 websites targeting JMU co-eds. Since our first story aired, the creators of both CollegiateACB.com and SchoolDirt.com have contacted us.
The problem with anonymous communication is that some people can use it for a negative outlet rather than a positive outlet.
That is Tim O'Shea, a 22-year-old New York law student that founded CollegiateACB.com. He says he launched the website last fall. And that time, the website has gone from covering just 60 colleges to over 260. But Tim has competition from another gossip website started right here in the Valley, SchoolDirt.com.
On a personal level, I find that some of that content is inappropriate.
That was Emmanuel, who claims to be the chief engineer for SchoolDirt.com and a senior at JMU. He'd only speak with us if we disguised his identity. Both websites allow anonymous posters to create topics and list students under categories like biggest slut and biggest boobs.
It's a website, and it's what people are anonymously saying that have no merit to it whatsoever.
One difference between the sites are the steps each takes to track users and cooperate with possible legal action.
We do not keep any identifiable information. Our servers are configured in a way that there's no way to trace back the origin of the poster.
We 100% work with the authorities in every situation, and we are completely cooperative with whoever else desires our attention.
Another important distinction is the steps taken to protect its content from simple search engine browsing. Search the name of a student in JMU on Yahoo, the SchoolDirt post is one of the top results. It's not the same for Collegiate ACB.
The way we have our website set up is that no search engine, such as Google, Bing, or anything else, will bring up the actual content of our website.
Olivia, who discovered her name on one of these sites, says students may not even know they were on the site. But the statute of limitation for defamation in Virginia is 1 year.
Some people don't hear about it, don't know about it until, let's say, they were applying for a job and the job Googles them and it comes up. And they can't do anything about it.
One state lawmaker says Richmond should give that a second look.
We need to stay abreast of those advancements in technology, and we need to, how we police those and how we address the concerns, the issues. We have to stay up with the times, so to speak.
Tony Wilt says someone must be held accountable for what is happening to these students.
The university knew about it and failed to take steps. And I'm not saying that in the end that there will be finite steps that they have to take, but it would behoove them to at least take a look at it.
JMU says the website's creators are responsible for their content. However, courts have mostly sided with websites in these matters, saying there is just too much being posted to hold the creators responsible for all the content.
And did Delegate Wilt have anything to say about the responsibility of the universities at all?
He did. He did think universities like JMU should be held accountable to some point, but just as what that means right now is unknown at this time. And he also pointed out that if you are caught posting damaging accusations on these websites, you could face a possible civil lawsuit. In Virginia, that is a Class 1 misdemeanor to, quote, harass by computer. Now, that could include a year in jail and a fine of $2,500.